you deal of flowers and arranging with flowers, then let's make some arrangements together here today. I'll walk you through what I typically use as supplies. I'll walk you through a beautiful set of flowers which I cut this morning, and yeah, let's create some beauty together. I'm Steffi, I'm a home gardener here in Attleboro, Massachusetts. It's zone 6, and I just love to take you along for the ride here on my flower journey, so welcome to my channel. Let me walk you first through some materials I love to use. Obviously, we need some snips. I prefer those little flower snips. They are from Floral. I'll link everything what I show you below so you have no problems finding those. I have also my trusty Falco snips. Then obviously some vases. I have here just some classical vases. This is one of my favorite. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this one. This is called an amaranth vase. This actually twists open, and with that you can actually like just untwist it and the water comes out on the bottom. When you want to exchange it, you can lift it up, snip the ends and put it on. Not sponsored in any way, I just love that vase. It's just also one of the easiest ones to clean and the perfect size. I really wish they had a few more shapes than that only, but I can highly recommend those. And then one of my other passions are just like any type of like pottered or ceramic vases. So this one of a local pottery here, which we have Mirth Pottery. Love their quality. It's just really beautiful. And then this year I wanted to challenge myself to go a little bit away from those classic vase shapes and also design some arrangements with some other vessels, so a little bit more flat, not as easy as vases. So this one I got at a nursery here this summer. And for this, I also need some chicken wire to actually make the flowers stuck inside of it. So this is what we use here. And what I also use is the flower food. I have a picture here from the brand, which I typically use because I'm just out of it. That's the last I have. A new one is on the way. But this really helps to extend the life of the arrangements by, I would say, 1 or 2 days. I'm on the lazy side of things. I gotta admit, I don't exchange water as often as they recommend, because people recommend to do it at least every other day, better every day, which that's not for me. They are lucky if they get exchanged like once while I have them in the vase. I have also here a little Lazy Susan, so I can show you the arrangement from all sides. And if you're curious to learn anything about flower harvesting and my tips to get a really good harvest together, check out this video. So whenever I start arranging, I always think about where I want to put this particular arrangement and from which sides do I see it. In my household, we barely see an arrangement ever from all sides, so I typically design them with just one side being in the front. And this is what we will do today, but keep that in mind. It's just something which you need to consider, because I also don't like to waste like beautiful blooms for a side nobody sees, right? It's kind of obvious. All right, so whenever I start with arrangements, I fill the vases 2/3 with water, because if you fill them tippy-toppy and start to stick all the stems in it, there's a chance that it will run over. I had that with a few before, so it's easier to top it off and fill it up when we're done with it. I usually start with the filler plants to give it a nice backdrop. We have here some celosia, some ami, basil. Basil is one of my most favorite filler plants, because typically what I love to arrange with are dahlias, and they are beautiful but don't have a scent. So I always love to put something in my bouquet which gives a nice scent to it. And yeah, and fun fact, I started to use some wheat in my bouquets as well. If you can't find it, you use it, right? But I thought it was so pretty and so lush that I really wanted to use it. So, and it goes very well with my coppery peachy palette. So we'll see. But this big arrangement, let's go with our soft pinks and our whites. So that is where my heart always sits. So I'll start with the backdrop. Let's use some blue spice basil. The leaves every once in a while look a little bit sad when you just cut them on the day. They need like 24 hours to recover. but that goes then usually quick. What you always want to avoid is putting leaves in the water, so you should always judge if you have any leaves in the water, take those ones off, because what that does is it increases like the bacteria in the water and just makes the bouquets not last that long. In case you're wondering, I'm not just putting it all on the ground. I have a little bucket next to me to catch everything. There will stuff land on the ground, but we'll pick that up and put that in the bucket too. And with that chicken wire, you have really a lot of options to stick it in where you want it and have it last and have it like literally like stay there, which is really nice. With those flat bouquets or with those like wider bouquets, I learned it's better to keep the stems short because then it looks more like filled. So this is some of my culinary basil, which is already over and I'm not using it anymore because when those ones flower, they typically are bitter, so I don't use them for eating anymore. But that doesn't mean we can't put them in arrangements too. And they smell as nice as the filler basil, which I've grown. Just a nice little green backdrop. Let me see how that looks. Yep, we can work with that. I have like a mantle, like a half high mantle, which has big space, so to have it wide spread out will look gorgeous. And now let me put the showstopper in that arrangement. This is my diva dahlia. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know the name is the game, shows up late, demands all attention, and it's just one of my favorites. It's really, really hard to capture this gorgeous color on camera. It's like a glowing, deep, velvety purple. Yeah, and I love it. And it's doing really, really well this year, which is even better. So we'll put this in the center. Oh yeah, that's nice. So that's now center of the attention. And then I always try to flank it with correlating, with correlating colors. So like something lighter, pinkish on the sides. Like here this is a Cozy Town cake. Put that one next to it. One little bump on the bottom, and that's preventing me to go down. All right. That should work. And another one. I was hesitant to go like with those low vases because it always feels like I'm wasting like stem length on the dahlias, but then in the end, it doesn't matter how you enjoy those flowers, right? It's like up to you how you want to enjoy them. And then I think I'll put another showstopper like right above here. Let me see how that would look. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Now we just gotta find the right length for it. Let me see. Whenever you cut stems, make sure you like measure it before like eyeballing it, because obviously you can't put stems back on. So I usually, when I want it at a specific height to look good in an arrangement, I'll go step by step to work myself towards the place where I want it. This has a little lump here too. All right, I think that is good. Let's see. No, that's still a little bit too tall. That's how I want it. We'll put you back in. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me check quickly. Yeah. So I also love to leave a little bit of space to tuck in some smaller flowers. So here I want to put definitely a couple of snapdragons, like as spears in the back. I think I made the chicken wire too tight. Always check the snapdragons for hitchhikers. There are typically a lot on those ones. Alrighty, we're getting there. And what you can tell, I love symmetry, so I always try to like have it some sort of symmetric when it comes to it. And now let's plug in some cute little Victorian wedding zinnias from Floral. And what I love as color sparkles as well are geratum. And those ones I'll try to get just in the front. And this is a fun thing with like flower arranging. It's totally up to you how you want how you want to do it, right? So there's no rules whatsoever. I know few people would tell you, oh, there are rules, like the rule of 5, the rule of 3s to make it pretty. But I mean, if you love it, who should tell you it's not pretty, right? So taste is really, really hard to argue between people. And I gotta say, I am so in love with those Victorian weddings ones. They are so cute and so little, and they just go well with my color palette, and I just love them. Now, I always feel like you can make a big impact with just a few blooms as well. It doesn't always have to be like as packed as like Laura from Garden Answer does it, right? There's like what always feels like 50 blooms in a bouquet. It doesn't have to be like this. Is like 4 really, really big dahlia blooms in it in the end, some zinnias, a couple of snapdragons, then a good bunch of fillers, which are really, really easy to come by. Yeah, and then you have a stunner of a bouquet together and can impress people with it. See again, there's still a couple of small gaps which we'll put in. Put in those ones. All right, so number 1 is done. What do you think? All right, so for the last ones, we got to be a little bit faster because we're running out of light otherwise here. So let me put you here. And then, let me see. Let's do this classic one. I love this shape. It's so easy to make the blooms look good with this like lip on the top. It's just also very cheap vase, which you can just get on Amazon. Or if you ever got a flower delivery, that's typically what they used to. So I feel like every household has such a vase somewhere on hand. So let's go with the peachy color collection. Let me show you here my wheat, which I'm going to use because I really, really like it. I forgot the name. It was something devil's beet tick or so, and it had like 20 other common names, but I just thought it was thriving so much in my strawberry field that I was like, I might try to use this as an filler for my vase. I looked it up first, of course, and checked if it was like toxic to humans and to pets of some sort, but it's not. So I figured like I wouldn't put poison ivy in a vase, obviously. So but that one looks a little sad, so we're not using this one. But yeah, why not use some weeds, right? The definition of weed is a plant which you don't like in the place where it is. So technically any kind of plant could be a weed by that definition or not. So if you make use of it, I think that doesn't classify as a weed anymore. And especially if it's going to last long, which we'll find out together, we can put them to better use than just yanking them out. We'll see. Then we can use some. That is the Limonada celosia, also from Floret, and that was clearly like growing in a bend, as you can tell. And I have some which I'm already like keeping for like seed saving, which are a little bit further along with that. And this is such a great color. It literally goes with anything. And same situation here again. I love to just design with flowers looking forward. So fillers in the back, and now we tuck in some blooms. This is the Cozy Town baby cakes. One of my absolute favorites is a unicorn colored one. This one can go in a purpley blush color arrangement as well as in a peachy one. Cornel bronze. Then we'll just start. Same here, we're removing the leaves if they are too low. And let me show you my pride and joy, my seedling. And if you're just a little bit around here, you've seen it multiple times. I'm very, very happy about it. It's so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. That's going to be the star of the show. So we keep those ones a little longer. But nevertheless, remove the leaves. This is my second year seedling. It came back true this year, which made me really happy. It was a really good tuber producer last year, so I saved 5 tubers, which came all up as plants. I have 5 plants and hope to have like next year half my bed full of those ones because you are supposed to grow out dahlia seedlings for 3 years to make sure they're stable in their genetics and come back true. So wish me luck that they come true next year, and then I might give it a name and distribute it. So we'll see. And then I always just like try to, again, arrange them somewhat on both sides. A foxy lady, which also goes with anything for its color combo. And as it's a little smaller, I typically like to use it on the bottom. Ooh, and that kind of stunner. Let's put that in the front. This is a Cozy Town Star, and really, really productive plant. This is one of my new varieties this year, where I just have one tuber from, and I really hope it produces a lot of tubers. This one has given me already, like, I would say like 8 blooms, and they just started blooming like 3-4 weeks ago. So I thought that was really, really nice and productive for this cute little plant. I gotta say, those cactus types don't feel like they have a great vase life though, so it's just something you gotta consider. I'm always used to like designing them from the front. Doing a video and doing it backwards is a little tricky for me. But what do you think? My personal taste is like not like cramping them all in until they have no air again. So I love it when they have just a little bit of loftiness to it. Let me quickly put a few zinnias in here too. All right. So that. And then we go with like a mixed colored one, because I have some purpley and some like mixed tones left over. If you think you can't fill a vase with enough stems, it's typically because the stems are too long. You can cut them shorter, and then I'm not sure if it's a visual illusion, but they just feel like a lot more filled out. Yeah, brings me so much joy to just make flower bouquets. You have no idea. Could do that all day long if you ask me. Let me see this one. Sometimes it's just fun to stick a lot of colors into one bouquet. So I think I'm good with this too. And with that, we'll conclude it for today, because otherwise the video is getting really, really long if we stick them out here. And we're running out of light soon, and I gotta make dinner for the family. So if you enjoyed this video and you really like the arrangements, let me know what you think, and let me know which one is your favorite, number 1, number 2, or number 3. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. You know, I love to chat with you in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe and watch another video. Thank you.